Imagine being able to shape your reality without changing the outside world. Sounds like science fiction, right? But the Stoics claimed it was possible. What did they know that we've forgotten? Why are we still trapped by impulsive reactions, while they seemed in total control? Today, we reveal their hidden method, and it could change your life. The Stoics didn't seek to control the world, but to master perception. To them, reality wasn't what happened externally, but how you interpreted it. Can you change your world just by changing your mind? This idea, simple and radical, is the foundation of their power. And in this video, we'll apply it to your daily life. Epictetus said it clearly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This quote hides a dangerous truth. If you truly understand it, you can't blame the world anymore. You are the architect of your experience. Are you ready to own that power? Or will you keep being a victim of the external? The Stoic key to bending reality lies in emotional dissociation. How does it work? You don't reject what you feel, you observe, you understand, then you transcend it. This isn't repression, it's mental alchemy. An internal transformation that redefines how you experience the outside world. This power isn't reserved for monks or philosophers. It's available to anyone who learns to use it. The first step is simple, yet brutal. Stop fighting reality. Why? Because every inner resistance strengthens the pain. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's taking control from a higher plane. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still practiced detachment. He wrote to himself, not the world, because he knew the real war was internal. How could someone with such power choose to surrender control? Because he understood, the only freedom lies in mastering how we interpret events. That's where real strength begins. Imagine waking up to chaos, bad news, traffic, betrayal. The Stoics didn't deny these things, they anticipated them. This technique is called premeditatio malorum. They visualized everything going wrong, not to suffer more, but to suffer less. Preparedness, not pessimism, gave them control before chaos even struck. Modern life tells you to chase happiness, but the Stoics knew happiness is a side effect, not a goal. Pursue virtue, they said, not pleasure. Why? Because pleasure depends on things you can't control. Virtue, on the other hand, is always in your hands. And when you choose virtue, peace follows like a shadow. But wait, how do you stay calm when life breaks you? Here's the paradox. You don't need calmness to face difficulty. Facing difficulty is what creates calmness. The Stoics believed discomfort is not the enemy. It's the gym of the mind. No resilience is built in comfort zones. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Your thoughts can imprison you or free you. The Stoics trained their minds like warriors. They questioned every belief, every fear, every desire. Their goal? Not to eliminate emotion, but to dominate it with reason. That is mental sovereignty. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about recognizing that emotions are messengers, not masters. You feel anger? Good. Listen, but don't obey. The Stoic doesn't fight feelings, they transform them into fuel for wisdom. Reaction is automatic, response is chosen. That's the Stoic superpower. In the Stoic mind, control is divided, what depends on you and what doesn't. That's it. Everything else is noise. When you internalize this, anxiety drops. You stop trying to control outcomes and focus on effort. Results become byproducts, not obsessions. Peace becomes a strategy, not a dream. Even death wasn't off limits for the Stoics. Memento mori, remember you must die, was not morbid but liberating. When you grasp that time is finite, you stop wasting it. You act with urgency, speak with truth, and live with depth. Death, to the Stoic, is not the end. It's the reason to begin. You may think Stoicism is cold, but look again. It teaches love. Deep, fierce, detached love. Love that doesn't cling. Love that doesn't fear loss. Because if you accept impermanence, you don't grip tighter, you love better. Clarity enhances connection. Detachment isn't absence, it's freedom. The modern mind is addicted to control, but the Stoic mind is addicted to clarity. Every crisis becomes a classroom. Every enemy becomes a mirror. Every pain becomes a portal. And every moment, an invitation to practice. Life stops being random. It becomes training. That's how reality bends. To the Stoics, suffering wasn't bad. It was a signal. Pain pointed to where growth was needed. Discomfort showed where illusions lived. Instead of escaping pain, they interrogated it. They asked, "What is this teaching me? What part of me is resisting truth?" In discomfort, they found the blueprint of strength. They trained daily, not physically, mentally. Every insult, every loss, every delay became practice. The Stoic mindset is forged in repetition. Like athletes of thought, they rehearsed resilience. So when life struck, they didn't flinch, they responded with precision. Mental discipline is not an event, it's a lifestyle. Even success was dangerous to the Stoics because it breeds attachment. They warned, never love something so much you can't lose it. Not because they were cold, but because they were clear. Possessions fade, fame dies, only character remains. If it's not within you, it's never really yours. You can't stop storms, but you can become the eye. That's the Stoic model. Remain centered while the world spins. Your control ends at your thoughts, but your influence begins there too. Shift how you think, and you'll shift how you live. Not by force, but by mastery. The inside leads the outside. This isn't philosophy. For the library, it's survival strategy. Life will test you. Loss will find you. The Stoic doesn't deny this. They prepare for it. That's why their calm feels unshakable. It's built, not borrowed. It's trained, not faked. You don't need a temple, just a disciplined mind. The Stoics didn't want to escape reality. They wanted to master it internally. By changing perception, they changed experience. This wasn't magic. It was precision. Perception isn't passive. It's a tool, a blade, and those who sharpen it shape their world, even when the world stays the same. You've been told control means domination, but the Stoics knew. True control is surrender to what is, and mastery of how you meet it. You don't bend the universe, you align with its flow. You become the one who chooses, not what happens, but how you dance with it. That's Stoicism's real magic. When everything falls apart, the Stoic doesn't fall. Why? Because they never stood on external things. Their ground is within. Praise, blame, gain, loss, these don't define them. They observe, they act, they let go. They rise not because the storm stops, but because they've learned how to sail it. This isn't theory. It's a call, a challenge. You can keep reacting to life or start mastering it from within. You can keep waiting for peace or train it. The Stoics left a map. The question is, will you walk it? Reality won't change, but your relationship to it can. That's your doorway. Most people live in reaction, few live in reflection, fewer still in mastery. You've seen what's possible, you've seen what the Stoics unlocked. Now ask yourself, if you don't apply it, what are you really choosing? Don't lose this map, because what comes next will demand everything you've got.